Hey everyone, welcome to a new video here. We're going to be talking about 3 picking patterns that we can use to fly through scales. The first one will be a little easier than the next 2, but all of these patterns, we're utilising a certain concept. Whenever we cross to the next string, the pick will always be going in the direction of the next string, and I've made sure that works because it makes it a little easier for crossing strings. But at the end of the day, they're going to be sounding pretty cool, especially when sped up. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'll always use a background of a backing track when I give the example, just so you can get a musical context for how to use these patterns. So the first pattern we're going to talk about, we're going to call ascending sixes. Sounds like this. You know, that sort of thing. A little bit slower. And all we're doing here, we are ascending over groups of 2 strings. The first string will be doing a down, up, down picking motion, and then on the next string we'll be doing an up, down, up, okay? And that's kind of how it works. And we're ascending this way down the strings, okay? On top to bottom, or low strings to the high strings. It doesn't make sense when you say it like that, but you know, musically speaking. Physically it's down. Musically it's ascending, you know? But what we're going to do, we're going to be using the scale here of 8, 10, 12 on the A and the D. Okay? 9, 10, 12 on the G. And then 10, 11, 13 on the B. And then 10, 12, 13 on the high E. Basically it's a D minor scale. Okay? Aeolian sort of thing. So what we're doing, we're going to start on the A string, down, up, down on the 8, 10, 12. Okay, so as I said, we end that on a downstroke, and we're crossing the string in a downward motion, okay? So the next string is physically downwards, so that's a good thing, as the pick is travelling in that direction. Then we'll be doing an up, down, up. Okay? And then we basically start that pattern off on the same string that we finished here. So instead of doing the up, down, up, we're going to do down, up, down. Okay? And then up, down, up on the next string. And then down, up, down, those same notes. And then up, down, up on the next string. Down, up, down, those same notes. Up, down, up on the next string. Okay? Down, up, 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 down, up. Okay? Every time we cross a string, the pick is travelling in that direction. So that's kind of what we want for all of these little patterns. It doesn't have to be that way, but getting some nice patterns that work out like this is always good for getting a nice flow to your sound. Right, okay, so pattern number 2 sounds like this. That sort of thing, a little bit slower now. Okay, so the main pattern is actually just this, kind of shifted up and down. Okay, you can shift it down or upwards, but we're doing the ascending type thing here. So it's a 16-note pattern, which fits nicely because you can break your bars down to 4, 8, 16. So hopefully this should be cool. So I'll count it through as I play the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Now all we're doing here is kind of similar to the last one in that we're just using 2 strings at a time and we're just going between them. Firstly, we're ascending 3 notes, okay, as a down, up, down. The frets we're using here are 7, 8 and 10 on the 2 strings that we're first going to be using, which is the A and the D. Okay, so down, up, down on 7, 8 and 10. And then we're going to go up, down, up on 8, 10, sorry, 7, 8, 10, 8, 7. So far we have. And then we're going to go 5 more notes, down, up, down on 10, 8, 7, 8, 10. Okay, and then finally 3 notes up with an up, down, up on the 7, 8 and 10 on the D again. All together. Down, up, 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 down, up. Okay? Kind of accenting those kind of downstrokes and upstrokes where we start on each new string. So down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up. So kind of keep those accents there. And all we're doing, by the way, we're in D minor, if I haven't already said this. We're then shifting upwards. So the next frets we'll be using will be 8, 10, 12 on the D, and then 9, 10, 12 on the G, okay? Keep those frets in mind. Then we're going down, up, down. Up, down, up on the next string. Down, up, down. And then up, down, up. Okay, so fret numbers. 8, 10, 12 on the D. Then 9, 10, 12, 10, 9 on the G. Then 12, 10, 8, 10, 12. And then 9, 10, 12 on the G again. So again, just that same pattern that we're moving up and down. You can start it wherever you like, really. You can start it lower if you want, down here. And so on. It's the same concept. We can use it for wherever we are at in whatever scale we're playing. So if you're playing, say, a major scale and you want to go, you can do that sort of thing, you know. We're just playing an A major scale there. So hopefully you can get to grips with this little, well, it's kind of a lengthy pattern really, but the idea is that it will fit into a bar nicely. It doesn't sound just like a normal scale, you know, when you play this fast. And that's kind of what I like about some of these patterns, that because we're shifting, we're going up and down, back up. It doesn't just sound like you're playing a simple scale. Okay, the next pattern, now you've heard it in context, let's play it a little slower. Okay, now this pattern I really like. It's not that easy when you're crossing all these strings pretty fast, so it requires a lot of practice really, but the more you do it, the more you'll get there. It's known as the Malmsteen kind of pattern. It's just a 6-note pattern, which you go over multiple strings playing it. We're going to descend. It follows the rule here that we're always using, the pick is always travelling in the direction of the next string. You can ascend doing this as well, of course, if you use like pick slanting. Go to Troy Grady's his YouTube channel and you'll find out all about that. But basically it sounds like this. That sort of thing. It's known as the Malmsteen pattern really, and we're just kind of using that over different strings here, ascending and descending. And what this pattern is, it's basically we're starting on a downstroke. We're going to go top note, bottom note, middle, top, middle, bottom, okay? So basically the fret numbers that we're using in this D minor that we've been using all along is going to be, for the top string, 13, 12 and 10, okay? So we're going to be going downstroke starting and then alternate. So it'll be 13, 10, 12, 13, 12 and 10. 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're just kind of descending using this same thing. So the next string here will be, again, 13, 10, 11, 13, 11, 10. Okay. Next string here. So we always finish on an upstroke to travel to the next string. So the next string, the frets will be 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 9. Okay? And then again, next string, I go down to 12, 8, 10, and then 12, 10, 8. And then after that I move down to here, which is going to be 10, 7, 8, 10, 8, 7. Okay, so far we have. And then I go to the next string, again 10, 7, 8, 10, 8, 7. And then. And again, you can move up and down doing this sort of thing. Oops. And this pattern, some people like to use on the same string as well. So you can, if for example, use the high string, kind of go that sort of thing, you know. And kind of go up and down, kind of alternating that sort of thing. But you can find the ways that you like to use it. As I said, you kind of doing this as well. The more you practice it, the more you'll get used to it, basically. So I hope there are some little ideas there for you to use. And if you want to subscribe, keep me making these videos, keep me motivated. That's cool, you know. If you're watching these, more subscriptions. You know, I'm not completely motivated by just subscriptions and stuff like that. But it's nice to know that people enjoy the videos. It does actually help me, you know, want to make more. So I'll see you again for the next one.